I'm here with actor Juani Feliz, who,
Hi.
how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Why don't we talk a little bit about when you first decided you wanted to become an actor? I know some of your first credits were almost 13 years ago, so
Yeah.
did you book stuff right out of the gate, or did you start prior to that, pursuing your dream?
So I started when I was 14. I did a play my last year of middle school, so eighth grade, and I took it very seriously.
Hmm.
And it like the acting bug just bit me then. And so I started doing research online. How do you actually become an actor? Make a career out of this.
Hmm.
And I did my research, found a manager, and I started auditioning then. That's when I booked like my first few credits. So I did a spot like on Law and Order, another NBC show,
Yep.
my first film. And then, so I did that throughout high school and took a long break when I went away to school.
Hmm. When you went to college, did you pursue acting in college, or did you kind of have a secondary plan?
So I did my undergrad at Harvard, and I
Oh, so
actually,
you have no smarts whatsoever about
no,
yourself.
not at all. No, so I knew I had to leave the city because I was going to say no to Harvard, but I also decided not to study acting in school
Hmm.
just because growing up here in New York City, I was very much aware of like acting studios, acting coaches. So what I did is I went for my other passion, which was biomedical engineering. Complete
Interesting,
opposite.
yeah, total
Yeah.
opposite.
And the coursework was really tough, so I just focused on that while I was there. And also just, enjoyed college, being a young adult. And then I stayed in Boston, the Boston area, for about 3 more years after college. And I worked in the field of bioengineering. But while I was working in the field of bioengineering, I just missed acting so much. And I would just daydream at my job. I
Hmm.
would daydream about being back on a set. And I missed home. My family's here in New York. So I just made a plan to move back to New York, and when I did, I would just focus on acting, and
Hmm.
that's what I did. So I've been back for about 3 years now, and I'm back at it.
Yeah, and
Just
you've
focused.
had quite a few guest starring roles since you started back up in acting. You also were part of the ABC Talent Network,
Yes,
right? On 2017, was that right when you came back, or
that
about a year
was
later?
that was about a year later that I made it to the ABC showcase
Hmm.
for 2017. That was a fun experience. Like I've made some of my best friends are from like that cast
Hmm.
I was put together, and it was such an amazing experience. I learned a lot, and
That's a
then it
pretty
opened more doors.
prestigious program, is it not? Don't you have to
Yeah,
audition?
they audition
Yeah,
about 10,000 actors a year.
that's nothing.
And then on both coasts, they assemble a little cast,
Yeah,
and we get to perform in front of industry professionals, agents, managers, and
that's fantastic.
you know.
Did it lead to a manager, or did you already have management experience?
I already had a team
Gotcha.
that I'm still with.
Hmm.
So, but I think it's just like the little community we created among the actors, and
Hmm.
a lot of the casting people here in New York City saw the show. So
Yeah, that's
it,
awesome.
it was really fun. It was one of my favorite experiences. So.
Very nice. And in 2018, you were on a number of shows, Conviction, $1, and Shades of Blue
Shades
as
of
Vanessa. What was that experience like working on that?
Yeah, and Shades of Blue, I got to work opposite Jennifer Lopez, which was a
Who?
lot of, I know, who? No, it was fun because, growing up, I used to watch her, like, music videos, watched her on Selena. I was a kid when that came out. So it was pretty surreal,
Yeah.
being, like, standing right in front of her, working on a scene. I'm like, oh, my God, here we are, you know? That was
That's
a
so
lot of
great.
fun. I got to work with Jeff Perry on $1, and I'm a fan of his. And
From
it's just,
Scandal, right?
yeah, he was in Scandal.
Yeah.
Was it Scandal? Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Cyrus.
Cyrus, yep.
It was really awesome just watching him work, because when you're on a set, you get to learn from the other actors, especially more seasoned actors, and you pick up things that they do, and you're like, huh, that was interesting, or just how they prepare. I think being on a set is just like a master class in acting.
And your most recent guest starring role was on Blue Bloods,
Right.
opposite Tom Selleck, and
Yes.
you go toe to toe with him. So was that intimidating? Was he I know he's a lovely human being.
He is so lovely. I mean,
Yeah.
the entire cast, the director, writers, they're amazing.
Hmm.
It was so much fun. It was a lot of fun because I I think, you know, when you're going toe to toe with the lead of a show,
Yeah.
you prepare for it and for your work, and then you just show up and you try to like feed them as much as they're feeding you in the work. And we had fun and
Good.
we joked around, and he was very, you know, himself. Like we would joke, everyone was joking around on set.
Yeah, and then he
It's such a
turns
light
totally stoic, and like you don't want to mess with him.
And then we would have like little personal conversations
Uh-huh.
when like they're shifting around cameras, and it was so much fun.
Did you get intimidated at all when he put on his Frank persona and was just like,
No, because my character does not get intimidated.
very true, very true. She did not, intimidation would certainly not be something she was
doesn't
used
intimidate,
to.
no,
Not easily.
She's just like, all right, Frank. Yeah, every time we would like take a break between takes, she's like, we just love the banter
Yeah,
because we fed off of each other. And it, you know, what I heard, it was like when they were thinking of this character, they were wondering whether they should go with someone that was a little more taller to maybe meet his stature. But then they also liked the idea that this 5'1" little woman was gonna like shake things up.
yeah. Well, you definitely stole the scene, that's for sure.
Thank
So
you.
that's really quite an accomplishment to steal scenes from Tom Selleck.
Thank you.
Now, your other project that has just come out is the movie Canal Street,
Right,
which
yes.
has a really impressive cast. And talk a little bit about your experience filming that and about your character Zoe.
So I worked on that, I think, what year was that? 2017? 2017? Yeah, I spent a month in Chicago filming for this film Canal Street, which is now in theaters. And it was so much fun because we were all in this city. A lot of us had never really been or spent a lot of time in Chicago, and we got to learn about the city. It was a small, intimate crew and cast and group, and there was just a lot of playing around, fooling
Yeah.
around during our downtime, and
That makes
hanging
sense that
out
it was shot
the
in
city.
Chicago with the talent that's attached to it, with Brashear and
Brashear, Michael
LaRoyce
T.
and John Seda. They're all Chicago-based
Oh yeah.
actors based on where their shows film now. So go ahead, tell us a little bit about Zoe. I didn't mean to cut you off.
So yeah, Canal Street is about this young guy who works. He moved from south side of Chicago to a more affluent neighborhood in Chicago, and he finds himself in the middle of a crime, the murder. And my character is someone he meets at the new high school he goes to, and it's someone he kind of takes a liking to. You know, there's a little flirtation here and there, but she's also someone who stands by him through the whole scandal, and also she kind of provides a little window to his soul, just to kind of like give the audience a view of who this kid is. He's just a child, really. Like, he's just a regular teenager. And we kind of get to see these little these sides of him through their relationship.
Who did you share the majority of your scenes with? Or was it a mix of a lot of people?
Brashear, and then you'll see me also in the courtroom taking stand. And
Okay. That's
So
very
it's fun.
cool. So tonight we're here at AMC Theater. Actually, you have a premiere.
Right,
What's
yeah.
that like? Just
being
a couple
here.
years ago, you were doing bioengineering, and
Yeah.
now you're here
so,
walking
like,
a red
this
carpet.
movie theater where we're at right now is actually the movie theater I used to come and watch movies when I was in high school. Like, my friends and I would come after school or on a Friday and just come here and watch movies. So it's really surreal that I'm here for a premiere of a film that I'm in.
Yeah.
That's now playing, and
That's so awesome.
you can never get over these moments. It's always like a pinch me moment.
Yeah.
But luckily, life gets so busy and new things come along that, you just keep going. And I appreciate everything. When I get home at night, I think about my day and I'm like, wow,
Now, do you think that you'll primarily stay on the East Coast, or do you have any sort of dream to go into a warmer climate, or Or you're just gonna go where the projects take you?
I am gonna go where a project that I'm passionate about takes me. And I have no idea where that would be. I just know I'm open to whether it's here in the East Coast, West Coast, or outside of the U.S.
Caribbean would be nice, Hawaii, right?
Anywhere, as long as I'm passionate about the project and the people I'm working with, I think it's going to be a great time. And
What
I'm
sort of
excited.
projects are you drawn to? Do you feel more comfortable in the dramatic arena? Do you feel comfortable
I
in
do a little bit
comedy?
of everything. Like just this week, I went in and auditioned for completely different roles. More comedic light, and then very dark, heavy, dramatic. I do like the dramatic, I do. I like complex characters that you can really sink your teeth into.
Yeah.
That you could have a really fleshed out backstory with, just with layers that you get to unpeel as you work on them.
Since you're New York based, would you also like to delve into theater?
Yeah, I haven't done much theater, and that's something I would definitely love to do a little bit more of, just because I think you learn so much. I mean, it's a completely different medium, and it is another like master class in acting.
Yeah.
You get one take, you get
That's-
one shot.
Yeah, it's not even a take.
And then
You
the
get
adrenaline of an audience there
Yeah.
with you, it's a whole nother element.
Yeah,
But yeah, of course.
that's awesome. Well, I look forward to 2019 for you. I can't wait to see your
I
next
am so
your next
excited
role.
for 2019. Yeah.
I know you have stuff coming, and we'll tease that, and that's all we'll
Yes.
say, and then we'll follow up with an interview.
Well,
when you're-
depending on when this comes out, we probably know a little bit more about things in the horizon. So.
Sounds good, and we'll schedule a follow up.
All right.
Thank you so
much.
much, Juani. It was such a pleasure to meet you.